Welcome to episode 41 of the Family Geekery podcast. I'm Danny.
I'm Amber.
And I'm Chris.
And today we're talking about Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur.
But before we do that, let's talk about us.
Yeah, we're the more important ones.
Yeah, that's why people tune in.
Yeah.
They don't care about Moon Girl. They want to know about.
Though.
They want to know about us. So, biggest news, I guess, of this week. Before we get into individual news, if there is any, but the Family Geekery podcast is coming live to a Comic-Con near you.
Well, I guess probably not
maybe near you.
It's near us. But we applied a couple weeks ago to our local Comic-Con that happens in the summer. And I just heard back that we got accepted.
Woo!
So in July, we will be going to it's actually a comic and toy convention. We will be in Artist Alley. That's what they call it. We're going to be hanging out with all the artists.
Nice.
Wow.
I like the artists. They're usually really nice.
Most of them are.
Most of them.
Some are a little strange.
That's okay.
I should wear a scarf.
You should rival Scarf Guy.
I've got to wear 2 scarves. No, but we're pretty excited about that. This will be our first Comic-Con that we have had a table at. So we're getting real legit.
Yeah.
So we're going to be there. Might bring some items with us, some giveaways, maybe some art type stuff, maybe some other nifty doodads that we may fabricate and bring and talk off to the highest bidder. Limited editions. That makes it worth more. But yeah, that's the biggest news probably of the week. Other than that, let's see. You guys doing anything fun, anything geeky this week? They're thinking. I can see them on the camera, but the listeners can't. And they have a look of pondering, both girls.
I finished the Overwatch 2 Season 2 Battle Pass. So I'm in the Elite Battle Pass right now, and that just gives you nicknames, I guess. So I'm not really trying too hard anymore, but I did that. And yeah, I'm pretty excited about next week being the pre-release for Phyrexia All Will Be One. So that's how I'm going to spend my weekend.
What in the heck is that?
Magic.
Oh, okay.
The next set. The next set in Magic the Gathering. Yep. So that's going to be I'll have more to share next episode on that.
Fun. Yeah. How about you, Dan? Anything?
Nothing much from me, but since we found out about the local Comic-Con, I've been working on some artwork for that so that we can maybe sell some or just have it on display.
Yeah, it's looking great. And I've been I've started replaying a game that I know I've talked to you guys about on the podcast before called Autonauts. But
nice.
they had an update to the original game because they put out a second game, but they put out an update to the original game, which is always nice. And in about December. And I'm trying to get all the way through it again, and it's really fun. It's a lot of fun. In the update, you can limit the amount of robots that you have to program. So I'm trying to complete the whole game with less than 300 robots.
Wow. Which
probably means nothing to you, but it is like a challenge mode type thing.
I don't know. I had 6 that just got me wood, so.
You're chopping down those trees, huh?
Deforestation's not good.
Yep. So cool. So this week we're talking about Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. They had a new series coming out in the comics. They had a little mini series that we're going to talk about. That's a preview to that. And they've got a show coming out on Disney Plus starting in February 10th.
Oh, has there been a trailer yet?
Yeah, there have been a couple trailers.
Oh, I've not seen any of those. Oops.
It's given me kind of a, what's the sitch? What's her name?
Kim
Possible art style vibe to it.
Oh, is it a cartoon?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's costs a lot less to draw a red dinosaur than to CGI
I
one.
was wondering if they were going to CGI a dinosaur.
And where are they going to find a 9-year-old genius? Yeah, so we're looking forward to that, and we thought it'd be timely to have a little episode on it. And this has been a title that we've been interested in the past, and finally get to spend some time with it. So, Danny, what are you going to tell us about with these characters?
Well, fun fact, my small comic collection actually, I don't know if it started with, but it was some of the first ones. I have like the first 3 issues or something like that, but it's part of my very small collection.
Yeah, it's fun when you go to a Comic-Con and you're searching through the bins, maybe the dollar books or something like that, and you try to figure out, hey, what am I looking for? Because there's just all kinds of stuff. So Danny started looking for Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, and she found a couple.
I remember that. That was the first time I ever heard of her.
Yeah. So, it's a little description. Moon Girl, her name is Lunella Lafayette, and she's only 9 years old. And she's described as one of like the smartest characters in the Marvel universe right now. And yeah, she's just very intelligent, and she likes to invent things. But she has a little struggle with her classmates. They kind of make fun of her, and that's how she got her name Moon Girl, because that's what they would tease her with. And she's constantly trying to get into better schooling, but she keeps getting rejected. But Devil Dinosaur, he is a big red T-Rex with human intelligence.
Clifford the dog?
Yeah. Clifford,
but a dinosaur.
And he almost died from this group called the Killer Folk, but Moon Boy, who was actually before Moon Girl, saved him, and that's how they came together. But then when Moon Boy died from the same Killer Folk in the Savage Land, then Devil Dinosaur was like, oh no, he's gone. And then he found Moon Girl when he went through a portal caused by the Night Stone, which we see in the first one.
The Devil Dinosaur was actually in a comic book in 1979.
Oh.
That was his first issue. And that's when they talked about the Killer Folk and Moon Boy and all the characters that we meet in the first issue that we're just about to talk about. They all existed in that original Devil Dinosaur book back in the late 70s. So he's been lying dormant for a while, I guess, waiting for a chance in the spotlight.
Mm-hmm. And Moon Girl, she's an Inhuman, and she actually she wanted to use the Night Stone to get rid of that Inhuman DNA in her because she was scared of it like affecting her. But that's how she got like the link to Devil Dinosaur, and that's how they can communicate and stuff.
So how is she an Inhuman? Because I remember it mentioned it in the little mini series, but it didn't mention it in the first issue that she's Inhuman. And I forget what Inhumans are because that TV show was not good.
Yeah, I think in the first issue, she made some remarks about how she's afraid of what's inside her, but she never really said, that she's part Inhuman. But yeah, I'm not so sure because we only read that first issue. I'm sure more of it gets explained throughout. That first run was like 47 or 48 issues. So that's a pretty long running continuity in today's comics to have that long of a run. So yeah, we only got a little sample, but she's definitely special, which is, I guess it's not that special when the Marvel universe has a bunch of young girls who are really, really smart.
You're
Yeah.
right.
You got Ironheart, you got
Shuri.
Shuri from Wakanda. There's no shortage of really smart girls in the Marvel universe. And I
Mhm.
guess a couple smart dudes too.
No, the whole time I was reading it, I was like, imagine if the new Wakanda movie, instead of getting Ironheart, they showed up at Moon Girl's house and was like, hey, come help us.
Yeah.
With the dinosaur in Wakanda.
So good backstory. So we've read 4 issues. We read Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur #1, which is her first appearance. And that's a series that ran from, what was it, about 2015 or so on, or 2016, somewhere around there, for several years. And then recently there was a little mini series that was Moon Girl and then it featured 3 different partnerships: Moon Girl and Miles Morales, Moon Girl and the Avengers, and then Moon Girl and the X-Men. And those 3 were all just little one-shots that kind of lumped together to tell a whole story. And I think that's just to lead into the new series that just started, the comic series that just started this December, just a couple months ago. So let's start off with Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur #1. And I think Danny's going to take us through that one.
Yeah. So it starts off with Moon Girl. She's kind of just in her room, and her mom's yelling at her to go to school. And you can see all her rejection letters from those schools that she wants to go to. And she gets to school, and I like the little like side internal thoughts that she has.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like those. So throughout the school, it's like the teacher's talking about evolution, and she's like, "Oh, I know this. This is all stuff I already know. It's too easy." And all the kids are teasing her, calling her Moon Girl and stuff. And so yeah, then she gets home, and her parents are talking with her, and they're like, "So what'd you learn? And did you have friends?" And she's like, "No, that stuff doesn't matter." She's too busy. Um, so then she goes out to like the city, and she finds she's using one of her devices that she made or something, and she
Yeah,
finds
she made a device that will track down Kree technology. Like a Kree finder is what she called it. She's very enthused in the whole Kree war thing.
I think this is where she finds like the Nightstone, I guess. And then it shows a flashback to dinosaur time, I guess.
Yeah.
And um, this is where we see Moon Boy and Devil Dinosaur, and how he dies with the killer folk because they want the Nightstone. And then it flashes back to Lunella in gym class, and she doesn't want to do gym class, and she just has this night stone in her backpack.
Yeah, she brings it to school for some reason.
And the gym teacher's like, "Well, that's an interesting dodgeball." And he starts playing with it and opens up the portal.
He starts spinning it on his finger like a basketball.
Yeah.
And I guess that's all it takes to activate this thing, which is for some reason been sitting underneath the Brooklyn Bridge for how many years? Since the dinosaur times, I guess. It's just been hanging out underneath some rubble.
Yep. So the gym teacher opens up the portal, and that's when we see Moon Boy die and Devil Dinosaur gets into the portal too. Then all the people from the dinosaur age comes out and they're like, "What is happening? Why is there a big red dinosaur everywhere?" And then that's when they meet, and she's scared of it at first, and then Devil Dinosaur just picks her up, takes her away.
Yeah, so now we got a dinosaur and several prehistoric men of some sort
Yeah.
hanging out in Brooklyn. So I guess that's where the series is going. The series we only read the first issue of, but I guess they're going to have to gather them up and get them back to their portal at some point, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it didn't tell us a whole lot, but at least it got the dinosaur into Brooklyn, and she made a friend finally.
Yeah.
Her only friend. The only friend you need.
I want a dinosaur friend.
Me too.
So we'll have
I
to read
wouldn't
some.
do T-Rex though.
We'll have to read some more of those issues. But then we jumped forward into the newer miniseries, and Amber, you're going to talk about the Moon Girl and Miles Morales, or is it Miles Morales and Moon Girl?
Yeah, Miles Morales, Spider-Man, and Moon Girl. So this one starts out with Moon Girl, and she's got, I guess, her signature outfit on. Our first time seeing that.
Her battle suit.
Yeah, she's got like cute little suspenders and, and like a wrestling helmet with her big pigtails. So she's there and she's fighting a villain, a robber, as these up and coming neighborhood superheroes do. So she's fighting this guy, and she's like, "Okay, time to call the police to get him apprehended. Okay, Devil Dinosaur, let's do it." And he runs away. And so she's like, "Devil Dinosaur, where'd you go?" And so then the like robber kind of escapes because she's distracted with Devil Dinosaur. So she goes back to school, and she's got, like, she's worried, like, "Oh, where'd he go? I'll check the lab," because I guess she's got a secret lab in the school. But first it's PE, so she has to do PE first. But then she goes to the lab. Devil Dinosaur is not there. She's really worried and confused. And then at home, she talks to her parents. And they ask her how was school, and she's like, it was school, as she always responds. But there's a news report that there's a big T-Rex in the city, and they don't seem super confused or super concerned, I guess, because this is Marvel and there's weird stuff that happens all the time. But dinosaur in the city, that's on the news. And her parents don't seem to care a whole lot, but she's super worried. She wants to find Devil Dinosaur. So she creates this plan to tour a high school for like gifted, smart people. So she does that. She, hacks into the mainframe and sends a letter to her family. And so the three of them, her and her parents, go tour. And it's like an overnight trip. So this is her chance to figure out what's happening to Devil Dinosaur. Just get away from her parents for a night. While she's there, she bumps into a guy who is Miles Morales, but she doesn't know that, and he doesn't know that that's Moon Girl. So they bump into each other, and then she just, goes her own way. She sneaks out. She's got a tracking device that tracks Devil Dinosaur. Pretty convenient, being a crafty girl. But she doesn't find Devil Dinosaur. she runs into Spider-Man, and they like kind of figure out what's happening. They exchange stories, and she's like, oh, she's going to go track Devil Dinosaur, but the red dinosaur that was in the city wasn't Devil Dinosaur. It was a clone of Devil Dinosaur that exploded when
Yep.
they see him. So he's all melty, and she's like, "That's not Devil Dinosaur." So now Miles Morales and Moon Girl, they go and they want to figure out what's happening. And so they follow these like signs, and they get to the secret lair of Taskmaster and bad Ant-Man. What's his? I forget his name. He's basically Ant-Man, but he's bad.
Like a knockoff.
Yeah. So they hear them, like talking about, oh, we're doing this. We're being paid to do this, and then they fight them and they win. And they're like, "Who are you working for?" And they're like, "We won't say." But they realize there that there's another clone. There's a purple Devil Dinosaur. So she's kind of worried about this one. She calls him Beastie. And he's cute. I like Beastie. So she's kind of in protect mode. Like, she doesn't know this dinosaur, but she knows that it's a clone of Devil Dinosaur and doesn't want this one to explode like the other one did. So after they defeat the villains and secure the dinosaur, she goes back to school, back to the high school, and hangs out with her parents. Like, oh, I had a great time at the school. They had a cool thing, but I don't think it's the right fit. I don't think I want to be at the school. So, which is fair because she was never invited to be at the school in the first place.
Right.
She has one more bump in with Miles Morales. And so she's kind of like joking at him, like, haha, you must be clumsy, like you're an arachnid. And he's like, what? So I don't know. Do they know each other? I guess she knows that he's Spider-Man, but does he know that she's Devil or Moon Girl?
I think he realized after their interaction, because in one of the panels he like looks back.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. So they say their goodbyes. She leaves the school, and she's still looking for Devil Dinosaur.
Yep. Which leads us to the next issue, which is the Avengers and Moon Girl, which is basically could have just been called Captain Marvel and Moon Girl.
Yeah, I thought it was Captain Marvel, but then you said it was Avengers.
But I guess they mentioned Tony Stark.
He's in one panel.
So Moon Girl has figured out that the Devil Dinosaur is not in Brooklyn, so she goes back to Manhattan, back to her school, like Amber said. And I guess gets Beastie down into her secret lab underneath the school.
Yeah.
And so she's trying to figure out how to make him not explode, because that wouldn't be good. But in the process, his head does start changing size, so now he's got a shrunken head. So the rest of the
it's cute.
Rest of the issue,
it is really cute.
Small-headed dinosaur, and he's purplish. So she's got him down there. She doesn't want him to explode, so she's doing her research, getting him to follow her using marshmallows, because I guess he likes marshmallows. And
don't we all?
And then later that night, she gets a tap on the door, or on her window. Knock, knock, knock. And it's Captain Marvel, just glowing glowing outside her window. And she's like, hey, I need your help. Tony Stark says there's some kind of disturbance on the moon, and it's could possibly cause destruction to the moon, which would be bad for Earth. So she's like, "Well, I'm a 9-year-old. What do you want from me?" And they're like, "Well, the disturbance kind of looks like a dinosaur, and you seem to know things about dinosaurs, so we need you to go to the moon." She's like, "I'm supposed to go to school, and my parents would kind of miss me if I went to the moon." And like, okay, well, we'll figure something out. So she goes to school, I guess. Like everything's normal, and then that night, I guess the parents won some kind of a vacation. Miraculously, we won a vacation to Wakanda.
Huh.
So a jet comes and picks them up and scurries them off to Wakanda, and the parents get to tour the garden because apparently, if you go to Wakanda, that's what adults want to do. They want to check out the garden. So they're going to spend the whole day in the garden, and of course, the 9-year-old genius girl wants to go see all the technology lab that Shuri has. So that's how they get Moon Girl away from her parents. You look at these plants. I'm definitely not gonna fly off to the moon. I promise. So she gets to meet Shuri, all for about 2 seconds. And Shuri says, "Hey, we got your dinosaur coming here. We'll take good care of him, but you need to go blast off and go to the moon." So they jump into a spaceship that apparently can travel to the moon in mere seconds or minutes, because it doesn't seem to take too long because the parents are still just hanging out in the garden. I don't know what kind of rockets they're using, but they must be better than Tesla can build. So they scurry off to the moon while the purple dinosaur seems to be wreaking a little bit of havoc on the garden, which still doesn't surprise anybody that there's a purple small-headed dinosaur in the Garden of Wakanda, but they'll deal with that. So they fly off. Before they leave, Shuri gives her a little bit of tech to take with her, which is a really cool like armband blaster thingy that's shaped like a panther.
Mm-hmm.
They get to the moon, and they've got the cat with them.
Yeah, and the cat.
The Florkin.
The Flarkin.
Yeah. The cat doesn't need oxygen.
Which is named Chewie?
Yeah.
I'd forgotten that.
Well, in the movie, it's Goose.
Oh, okay.
Right? Isn't that the Top Gun?
That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't remember that. So they're on the moon. They're going to go check out this disturbance, which is supposed to be a dinosaur, and the only reason that she decided to go there is because it might be Devil Dinosaur. But it turns out to be a bunch of dinosaurs. So they found a bunch of clones. So now there must be something more going on than just the one clone. So they need to figure out what's going on there. All the while, Mom and Dad are checking out the garden.
Still.
So they try to corral up some of these clones so that they can capture them and probably try to help them too. And in the process of doing that, they go to the Summers residence.
Yeah, because they have a house on the moon, I guess.
I guess Cyclops has a summer vacation home on the moon. So they're like, let's go over there. And as they're heading over there, there's a bunch of prehistoric creatures, anthropomorphic.
Oh, your favorite word.
Yeah, that's that word that I hate. So we got like lizards and frog men like hanging out at the residence. So they're like, that doesn't seem right. So they go in there and to check it out.
Cyclops looks different.
Yeah, looks like a minotaur. So they go to check that out and discover that there's actually a evil secret lab underneath the summer residence of the Summers summer residence. So all I know is there's a bunch of evil labs happening underneath things.
Labs on labs on labs.
And I'm going to go back and blame this again on it must be Elon Musk, because he's got that boring company that bores holes underneath things.
Ah.
So he must be building all these secret labs for the highest bidder. So they go underneath and they discover a red dinosaur being held captive by a bad dude named the High Evolutionary, which is a red dude with a red mohawk, and he's got Devil Dinosaur in some kind of handcuffs and some kind of brain altering thing that would probably stop Moon Girl from meshing minds with him, because that's what they do. Like, she sends her mind into the dinosaur, and the dinosaur sends his mind into her, and that's how they control each other. So he's like, nope, I've got this dinosaur, and you can't have it. And then you hear from the corner someone saying, "I'm going to kill you, High Evolutionary." And then we see it's actually Wolverine over there, and he's in the same kind of weird handcuffs also. So the High Evolutionary has kidnapped Logan to take his blood because it has restorative powers, and he's going to try to use his blood to stabilize the clones, I guess, the clones of Devil Dinosaur, so that they don't explode. And for some reason, Wolverine's not too pleased about his blood being used for things that he doesn't want his blood to be used for, so he's taking offense to that. So the fight ensues. We've got a battle going on between the High Evolutionary and the most powerful Avenger, and the 9-year-old girl with a blaster on her arm.
Hey, she also has jumpy shoes.
And jumpy shoes, yeah. Those never hurt. She's got, I don't know if we've seen it, but her main weapon, before she gets tech from Shuri, her main weapon is an extendable punching glove.
Yeah.
That'll do, man. And then all of a sudden we get Havoc show up. And Havoc is he's there to rescue Wolverine, probably.
What's all this happening in my house?
Yeah. So, big battle. The High Evolutionary, I guess, creates a portal and walks through it and takes the Devil Dinosaur with him. And, of course, Moon Girl's upset about that because she wanted to rescue him. And so they decide to team up. And I think I think Captain Marvel is like, I need to peace out. I've had enough of this. I've got the whole universe to help. I can't be chasing off little dinosaurs.
She said, I did what I came here to do. I got the dinosaurs off the moon. Goodbye.
I'll take the dinosaurs home. I guess these X-Men types are going to have to help you find your dinosaur. But don't worry, your parents still don't know you're gone. I don't know how long this whole thing is happening.
Still in the gardens.
Yeah. So she's gonna leave Moon Girl in the capable hands of a psychopathic Canadian beast man and an out of control Havoc, I guess.
More like she leaves them in the capable hands of a 9-year-old.
Yeah, that's probably a better way to put it. And yeah, they're gonna have to fly off and try to find the High Evolutionary and rescue the dinosaur. So then that leads her off to her adventures with the X-Men, which is the third issue, the X-Men and Moon Girl.
Yeah. So this one begins with them back in the secret evil lab under the summer house on the moon. And basically they're trying to make up a plan for how they're going to get Devil Dinosaur out and how the High Evolutionary needs Wolverine's blood to complete their process. And Moon Girl's kind of like, so why are they doing this? And Wolverine explains that they're trying to make a counter Earth. It's on the other side of the sun, and it's basically they want to make their own species and own world that is like Earth. But
Not a bad idea, actually.
yeah.
Out of evil plots, it's probably not the worst.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Moon Girl says, "Why bad guys always do cool things for bad reasons?" So Wolverine's like, "Okay, well, we gotta go," and Moon Girl's like, "But you have to rest." And Wolverine's like,
Wolverine
"No,
rested.
we're gonna go." So they do, but the new Counter Earth it's like human animals, so they need a disguise. And Moon Girl is a little devious and creates them some costumes, animal costumes. And Wolverine's not stoked, but you gotta do what you have to do.
He already kind of looks like an animal.
That's
You
true.
really need a costume.
So they travel to Counter Earth, and Moon Girl gives them their costumes, and they're a porcupine, a bear, and a hippo. It's kind of cute. I think
Yeah, Moon Girl's kind of cute.
Yeah, Moon Girl looks so cute as a bear. So they travel through Counter Earth in their animal costumes, and you can see there's a bunch of other animal people.
It kind of reminded me of the Guardians of the Galaxy trailer.
Oh, yeah.
Like when they go to, like, I think they're trying to go to Earth, but they go to this planet with all these animal people, and then Drax throws a ball at a kid.
Yeah.
That's what it reminded me of. So I wonder if that's their, like, the MCU's take on Counter Earth, or maybe
Could be.
not.
Yeah, maybe.
Good catch.
That was my connection.
Better catch than the kid.
So they walk through Counter Earth trying to find the evolutionary's den, and one of the Havoc's mask starts to like fall apart, and so they have to fix it. And then they run into these guards in front of the den, and they have to beat them up. And so they each take a couple, and Moon Girl and Havoc finish, and Wolverine's like, "What took you so long? I've had these guys done."
He's got a pile of passed out people underneath him.
Mm-hmm. So now they get into the den, or after a very intelligent 9-year-old breaks into the den with her phone.
The den, which is a castle.
Yeah. And so they're able to get into there, and they find a bunch of other animal people and big fight scene. Because they were going to sneak in, but then
kind of walked right into the lab and just started beating up scientists.
Yep. So they find Devil Dinosaur, and he's in cuffs and in the cage and stuff. And they need to help him.
He doesn't seem to recognize her, though, because of the restraints on him.
Yeah. And they're scared that he was going to attack them if they got him loose. So they decide to split up, and Havoc takes care of the animals that are following them, and I think Wolverine goes to find High Evolutionary, while Moon Girl tries to get Devil Dinosaur out, but then he finds her and takes her, and he needs her because he can't finish his little experiment without her connection with the Devil Dinosaur, so he needs to like suck her abilities out or whatever the machine is doing.
Right. It was all a trap to get her there.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, he puts her in the little cage to get that out, but then Devil Dinosaur gets loose or something.
So
Yeah,
her
well,
mind is permanently in devil dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Like they're perma swapped.
Mm.
I think Havoc and Wolverine decided to try to break his bonds and free him, thinking that either it was going to be really bad or that he would snap out of whatever was happening and help her.
Mm-hmm.
And did you notice that the each one of them had one eyeball change?
Yeah.
Oh.
A Moon Girl has one dinosaur eye, and Dinosaur has one human
Yeah.
eye.
Isn't that neat? And then all of a sudden, the clones from Wakanda get there.
Yeah.
All the different colored devil dinosaurs. So that helps them get Moon Girl out. And she has still a little dinosaur in her, so she roars sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Havoc had set like a gate for their quick escape. So they were going to be able to escape through this gate and get to Wakanda. But I guess Devil Dinosaur had a special roar that called the dinosaurs from Wakanda, and they came through his gate.
Summon the devil dinosaur clones.
Yeah.
And then they're like, how are we going to get these in the ship? And apparently the ship can fit all the dinosaurs in it.
X-Men got a TARDIS.
Yeah. It's bigger on the inside.
Yeah. I think they stole that from someone.
Sounds familiar.
And then she comes back and sees Shuri and her parents with her roar.
Yeah, so that gate was still open. The gate that goes back to Wakanda. That's what he meant by it was bigger on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
So they go through the gate and end up right with their parents.
And the parents are like, what is that dinosaur?
What the heck? Yeah. Where have you been?
To be continued.
Yeah.
So without reading all 48 episodes of their main storyline, I don't know if anybody knows that she has a dinosaur, right? And that in those 4 or 5 years, did her parents figure out that she's got a red dinosaur, or has she been successful in keeping him hidden for all those years?
Sounds like she's been successful.
Yeah, since they were surprised. But yeah, so that ends up, and it says, hey, join us for Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur #1 coming December 2022. So that was... Did you guys enjoy those 3 books?
I did. They were really good. Yeah, I like how the story lined up.
The first book was good, but I just don't think we got enough of that series to get a feel for it. But that's what I like about these little miniseries. They tell a story and wrap it up however unfeasible the story may be. They get it all wrapped up in time.
Yeah. And with towards the end of this one, since I guess they had their brain swap for a longer period of time or whatever, I don't know, but I guess Devil Dinosaur can now understand her thoughts, because she had the aside,
right?
And then she was like, oh, you can understand this, Devil Dinosaur? So I guess it's strengthened their bond, and maybe they'll get better at fighting crime, and Devil Dinosaur won't run off or get kidnapped without her knowing again.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how you've got the MCU with its very serious tone and humor involved in it, but the overall repercussions of what's happening is huge. And then in the same universe, there's this 9-year-old girl and a dinosaur roaming around New York City. and she can just fabricate inventions out of thin air, apparently. So yeah, it's good. That's why I think that's going to be a cartoon, and she's just not going to be integrated right into the next Avengers movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, very cool. So that was good. We got another comic series under our belt, learning more and more about the Marvel comics, and looking forward to that cartoon coming up on Disney Plus. Who's not a sponsor, but should be.
Yeah, let's get Disney to sponsor us. 100 Years of Wonder.
Yep, very cool. So I think that's going to wrap it up for this episode. You girls got anything else?
Nope.
No, now I just want a dinosaur. I kind of want Beastie. He's really cute.
Yeah, he's got the body of a T-Rex, but the head of a herbivore, like an Allosaurus or something.
Tiny head, tiny arms.
Yeah. Well, cool. Thank you guys as always for listening. And until next time, peace out and geek out.
Thank you for listening to the Family Geekery podcast. For more information, visit www.familygeekery.com. Don't forget to subscribe at your favorite podcast provider. And until next time, peace out and geek out.